Hey, hey, it is another installment of this Women's History Month, and I am so excited to be here with you again today. And today's person is one of my friends that I met back in 2009. I believe we used to work together with Dwayne Bryant and Intervision International. And that is when I first met her and learned all about her passion project that has now become her full-time job as the executive director, the founder and executive director of Polished Pebbles Girls Mentoring Program. I served on the board for a little bit. I served as their grant writer for a little bit. I've done a little bit of everything with Polished Pebbles, and I am just excited about how Kelly has grown the organization and how I can honestly say that I've also been a part of that, and that's exciting. And just to see the growth that Kelly has had. So, Kelly Fair, what's up?
Hey! So funny how when you know somebody well, you can show up. Well, one, I'm gonna show up. And then when I show up in rare form, you're like, all right, well, I know this is Kelly, so it's no big deal. But that's a wonderful, beautiful thing because those are not always the type of relationships that you have personally, and definitely not a lot of times professionally as well. So I'm feeling good. So I'm happy to be chatting with you because I know today this will be an authentic space, which with this work and as hard as it can be at times, you need that authentic space to say a thing like it need to be said.
And that's one of the things I appreciate about you, though. Before we even get started, like, you show up every single time in true Kelly fashion, whatever that means and whatever that looks like on that day. And I love it because you like, look, it is what it is. I don't care where I am. I don't care what I'm doing. Speaking of which, I just came across a picture. Every once in a while, you got to Google yourself, right? And so I just came across a picture, Kelly, from the Jaffe Awards, in which, Kelly, I think you are frozen. I'm gonna remove you for a second and add you back. But I just came across a picture from the Jaffe Awards, the first one that we went to in New York, and it was crazy because I was like, I've never even seen this picture before. We're like sitting at the table, chilling and hanging out. So that was absolutely cool to see. All right, I think we're having some technical difficulties today. Let's make sure. Kelly popped out. Okay, we're gonna have to wait a second because Kelly just got removed from the stream. So, okay, here we go. We got it. Okay, there we go. Cool. I don't know what's going on with our stream today.
No.
All right, Kelly. There we go. There you are. I'm like, there you are.
We're going to make this work. We're going to turn this obstacle into an opportunity.
Speak it, girl. Speak it.
Absolutely. Absolutely. So I heard you talk about, you saw a old photo of us from the Jaffe Awards from years ago, back in 2015. Yeah, no, I mean, I think that was a while ago. You were like my road dog for a minute. We were hitting all the little national events and travel. And I was like, Patrice, I need somebody to go with me.
Look, and I was like, Mommy, you gonna babysit? Let's go.
So we had that. We went to New York. We went to can we go back to Palm Springs? I was thinking about that too.
Palm Springs.
Yeah.
I forgot about Palm Springs. That was a great trip too. Palm Springs was so great because it was like conference and a little bit of vacation. So that was perfect. All right, we're going to have to get our questions in because for some reason today we are not getting the cooperation that we need on this. All right. Yep, you're back. But you know what? I'm going to switch my camera because I'm wondering if I switch to a different camera, and I'm wondering if that's adding to it too.
Okay.
All right, so we're good. But yes, Palm Springs was great too. But we definitely have had some memories on the book, so I appreciate
that. Absolutely. No, it's been some good times, and I was reading a book about business scaling, just some of the business books and thinking about team. And the question was, trying to determine, how well a team member fits. would that be somebody you would want to travel with on a business trip? And so,
Interesting.
those are what a simple question to get at, like, thinking about the strength of the relationships or opportunities there as well. So, you hit the road with me, so I think we're good.
We are good. I love it. We are good. So we got Dr. Renee saying good afternoon to us. She's saying, hey. So Kelly, why don't you tell us a little bit about who you are and what you do in this world?
Absolutely. So I'm the founder of Polished Pebbles Girls Mentoring Program. Now almost a 12-year-old girls mentoring initiatives, right? So we've been focused on making sure girls are great communicators at home, school, and the future workplace. So we serve girls in mostly school day and after school programs, and in over 100 public schools, charter schools, public housing communities throughout Chicago, Indiana, Texas.
She's saying Texas, and we definitely have served girls in other places. Kelly, you are frozen. I am going to remove you from the stream. I don't know. This won't let us be great today, but we're going to keep it pushing. We are going to really try to push through this. All right. Yeah. You back. Maybe. Or not, y'all. Y'all send us some good internet vibes. Send some good juju. Give us some positive vibes to try to make sure that we get through this stream, because I'm not sure what keeps happening today with Kelly. She's joining us from another. All right, let's see. What is happening? All right, Kelly. Let's try to refresh this and let's try to figure out what is happening, y'all. Kelly, are you able to join us from your phone, maybe? I'm going to see if she can join us from her phone, you guys. But in the meantime, for those of you that are watching, what are some questions or some comments, or what are some obstacles that you've overcome, some things that you have had to do in your life? Let me know what that is. In the meantime, we're going to try to get Kelly back here in just a second. Hey,
Hey, all right, let's get it
can you hear
in.
me?
Yes, I
I
can.
know we got to move fast. All right. What is an obstacle that you have been able to turn into an opportunity?
I think one of the things, as we were talking about traveling and doing different things with Polished Pebbles, I love kind of through my work with Polished Pebbles, being an architect of things that will create girl greatness. And a lot of that is the ability to convene people and to create partnerships. And so I think one of the things that I've learned is that partnerships can be really great and dynamic, but partnerships can be hard to make work, regardless if they're across the street or on the other side of the globe. And so one of the things in my drive and desire to be this visionary and coming up with ideas of things that I think will be great, we've done virtual partnerships before virtual was a thing, back in 2013, 2014, with girls in South Africa, connecting some Polished Pebbles girls here in Chicago. We mentioned the stuff that we've done down in Texas, North Carolina. I think one of the things that I've learned that became an obstacle is, how do you know when there's a different holiday or a different schedule in another part of the world? That communication with partners. How do you know if this is the best partner for you and the best fit? It sounds really great and sexy to be here and be there, but you've still got to have those same kind of essential trust level, same mission, same goals, same objectives, and same understanding.
Absolutely.
So I think one of the things that I've learned, as I love creating partnerships, every partnership doesn't have to happen right away. Sometimes you're just planting a seed. Every project doesn't have to be for that particular partnership. And then some partnerships you got to be okay with, walking away from and not being so excited that you want to push it. Sometimes a more meaningful partnership is right there in your backyard. So I think that's one of the things that is become an obstacle sometimes in trying to form the partnerships, especially if they were distant and it was an opportunity for us to learn. But it became an opportunity because they're pilots. You're learning.
Mm.
So there's nothing that, oh, it didn't work, we messed up, that's egg on our
Yeah.
face. No, it was a pilot to learn this type of service, this type of product that ain't best for us. We don't have the
Right.
capacity. We're not a publishing house. So it gives you a better space to figure out what's the best opportunity for me as a leader, best opportunity for the organization, and everything has its own time. And so because you did this work, because you fell on your knees and skinned them pretty bad, it wasn't that bad. And it was something that you learned in the evolving process of growing the business. And that's what business owners do. You take risks so that you learn. And so you've got to be comfortable with taking those type of obstacles and turn them into an opportunity, but you got to be patient with the process.
Absolutely. But and you know what, Kelly, like you're talking about it from a business standpoint, but I'm listening to you and I'm like, you can even apply that personally,
Yeah,
right? Like
yeah,
when you're talking about new relationships, new friendships, whatever it is, it doesn't have to just be romantic relationships,
yeah,
but
yeah,
we always are so like, this has to work, this has to be perfect. There is no perfection in it, right? Like we just have to take our time. And I recently heard for that someone talked about treating everything as an experiment, like
yeah,
no matter what it is, like,
yeah.
and that's what to me that's what I just heard you say, like treat it all as an experiment and we'll figure it out.
It's all learning, and it seems kind of chaotic at the time, but I think even though I run a nonprofit, I'm probably more entrepreneur than just a nonprofit leader. And so the entrepreneur in me is always kind of comfortable with taking those risks and trying something out. And so you're right, it's the same thing with the personal relationships and the people that you get to know. I think no greater teacher is in the city of Chicago. I always tell, like, early professionals and staff coming on, I'm like, look, it's a big city, but it's a small town. And
Yeah.
so you need to view each opportunity. That person that may not germinate and fully bloom at that time, but they paid attention, they heard the name, they may or may not, but it always comes full circle where you're gonna have to know me at some point, because I'm gonna keep working my thing, keep growing. And so you've got to be patient with that. They may not be ready for you now. They may have turned, up their nose, looked down on you,
Yeah.
or, it just wasn't a good fit. But you'll figure out how it fits and comes together at a later time. And so you just want to be mindful of treating every situation in that way and treating the folks involved in that way as well. You want to be as nice as possible. Now, some folk need to be, like we said, say a thing like it need to be said. As Birdman says, put some respect on my name. But
Give it
that's
some
a
respect.
process too. That's a part of the process too. And it's an important part of growth too. So yeah.
No, absolutely. I appreciate that. So, and that's really gets us to our next question, which is like the bounce back, right? Like, how is our bounce back game? How are we resilient? So, I want to know, how do you intentionally, like, and that's the key word, how do you intentionally practice resilience?
We were talking when we first got on or before we got on, and I was like, well, yeah, the Virgo in me. And so I'm a very proud Virgo that over the years has become more aware of, my character tendencies and things like that. So I think part of the reason that I'm able to be resilient is because I have a circle and I have a family support system that pushes me to be resilient. And so when you fall down and skin your knees, you got a support system to chat with you about it and say, okay, I saw this, I saw that, or it's not that big of a deal, or they just listen. I so appreciate that about, everybody, mentors, board members, friends. And I really value that with my parents, Kevin and Julie Fair, shout out to them. They're great listeners. And that means so much to me. And so they're not always prescriptive. They provide that space to just listen. And I think that one of the things I value about them with that, I'm able to be resilient because I have them, and they're able to support me in that way because of their faith. So they trust God enough to take care of me and take care of the process where I'm their child, but they know that she's doing what she's supposed to be doing. This is her appointment and her work. And I know that God will figure.
Uh-oh. We was rolling. You know that God will figure it out. That's what she was saying. That is oh, you're back. I'm like, Look, I'm paraphrasing for you based on what you were saying, Kelly. I'm like, I got it for you. I think we are frozen again, but we only got two more questions to get through. And we're going to make sure that we are going to persevere. We are going to bounce back and be resilient, that no matter what is happening here, that we are going to get through. And so Renee was saying Virgo rules. I just want you to know you got that support from Renee in the
Yeah, it's a special kind of
she's an August
crazy.
baby though. She's an end of August
Uh,
baby.
I'm a September Virgo, and I'm right on that Libra cusp. So a lot of my good friends are Libras with Virgo tendencies, and they're right there on that deadline. So yeah.
That's
Okay.
hilarious.
So,
So next question, and you just mentioned your parents, who I adore. Your parents have such a calming spirit, both of them, and they ask you very matter of fact questions or kind of sit back, in the cut. And so I really appreciate that. And I know your mom is one of the people, and I don't know if this is going to be your person, but who is a woman that you admire and why?
oh yeah. I mean, so definitely my mom, where she was ultimate mom, she's has five children. And I'm the oldest. So I learned so much about womanhood and so much about character and doing the right thing. I'll never forget one time, Latrice, you introduced me in a group and you were like, Kelly always works hard to do the right thing. And I definitely got that from my mother. This woman doesn't get speeding tickets, you know what I mean? But what I love about my mama is she's there, got your back and ready to throw down if necessary. So, as she's calm and she's there, that presence is there to kind of push you to make sure that sometimes, and my grandmother, her mother used to say, make sure people treat you right, and it was so embarrassing as a kid. I mean, my grandmother was the queen, marveling of taking stuff back to the store. You know what I mean? And complaining about the service. And it was just like, oh my God, if she, getting in a spat with people, it was embarrassing. But she used to say, make sure people treat you right. You're paying for a service. I don't care if we paying dollars or nickels or dimes or pennies. When you've paid for a service, you make sure that you get what you're supposed to get. And so I think
Absolutely.
that's always kind of been a driving force with all of my siblings, but definitely with me as well, is that, hey, we're calm, we're cool and collected, we're gonna do the right thing. But if you ain't gonna do the right thing, we either gonna leave or we're gonna make sure that it should have been this, and then we leave. But I appreciate that because I think that level of accountability is necessary in what the work that I do, when it's dealing with partners, dealing with funders, but also making sure that, as we're working with girls, we need to do what we're asking them to do. So, if you just showed up for a paycheck, this ain't the right thing, because how are we helping these girls who are in dire need of trusting relationships and support, and we're not doing the right thing and pushing them to, go further? You got to do that. So if we're in remote learning and she ain't turn her camera on, I need you to tell her to turn her camera on. Now, she may not do it right away, but she's going to know the right thing is, I need you to turn it on because it allows me to connect with you. It allows me to, see it's respectful. It's great etiquette, but we got to do the right thing and always go that extra level. If we're not doing that, then we need to quit.
Absolutely. No, I appreciate that. I appreciate that. Well, last question, because we could talk and we've been
Yes,
over here
dear.
already more than our time. But what is your woman empowerment song? And you are a music person. You get down with your music, and I know that. So, what is the song that you want to add to the Women's History Month playlist?
Oh,
It's breaking up again. Hold on, Kelly. Hold your thought. Hold your thought. I'm gonna re-add you back to the stream because this won't let us be great today. Hold on. All right,
and
there you
okay,
go.
cool.
What should
All right,
yes?
there's so many. There's tons of Beyonce songs, Destiny's Child, Independent Woman, Khalees, Bossy. However, I've been into the JBs for the last couple of.
Come on, internet. Let us be great. All right, Kelly, you just got to
Okay.
say it and get it out.
James Brown, boss. James Brown, boss.
James Brown Boss. Okay,
Play the calls to be the boss.
let's go. That's a good one. That is a good old school song. I love it. That is perfect. So I don't know if our internet is going to let us be great to say a proper goodbye. Yep, there you go. But in case it does not, I just want to plug Kelly's book, Every Girl is a CEO. That is the new book that is out. This is Simone's copy. This is Butterfly's copy. So make sure you get it for your girls. It is some tools in here. It is part workbook, part reading. So make sure that you support that. Every Girl is a CEO. Kelly, any lasting words you want to say?
The book Every Girl's a CEO is about finding the innate leader within every girl and identifying it and helping her to know it, trust it, and to groom it and prepare for that life. And so that even in the midst of COVID-19, we still have to help girls prepare for their future dreams. And so it's the perfect guide for moms to work with their daughters. You need to get in your school district. It's never too young to help girls start preparing for their future careers and thinking about their dreams and what they want in life. So it was instilled in me, and we're doing the right thing, Latrice, and we're making sure that we're investing in this generation of girls to make sure that they are equipped to live their dreams and their best life too.
Awesome. Well, thank you, Kelly. I'm so happy that you were able to take some time out and join me
Yay.
today for this Women's History Month, where I am highlighting resilient women that are in my life that I know personally, that I have had connection with. And I'm so excited. As always, everyone, just remember that every obstacle is an opportunity for you to live a fuller life filled with purpose. Have a great day.
Thank you.